Hi, I'm Michi, and welcome to Hi, I'm Michi, and welcome to Daily Reflections. Last time we've been talking about the absence of information and how it differs to the prevalence of information. And today we are going to talk about a very sensitive topic, but also one I'm quite enthusiastic about it. And it's quite difficult to see. Let's see where we are going with this. And the topic is traveling. You like traveling? Good for you. No, I'm I have been traveling. I'm still traveling, but by now I'm not like super into it anymore. And there is a reason for that. And one of the reasons is the cost benefit ratio or benefit cost ratio. We have been talking about that in a previous video, but let's have a look and see what I mean. Traveling. I believe at least that's the case for me. Since a very young age, the people surrounding me, society, kind of tends to tell me that traveling is good, traveling is important on in various ways. One is, of course, pleasure, leisure, spending time in a very interesting and show off manner. I don't know. So, pleasure is one part of that. We travel for fun, we travel to get off from work, to like don't concern us with everyday duties. And then there is this other more like literate or educated way of traveling. And I think in the past we've seen sort of a trend that out of a sudden backpacking is so much cooler than this all inclusive tourism because you get to know locals, you mingle with society, you get to inhale the culture, and you're just closer to the culture of that country you're traveling to. And in addition to that, traveling is being said to widening your horizon. You're seeing, you have new impressions, you get out of your comfort zone, you learn new things, you get to know new people. And that's where I disagree. For me personally, I still travel. I travel for business. I like it. I travel to meet friends probably from the past. But yeah, stopping here. If you're into traveling, it's no offense. Continue to do it. You probably have your reasons. Here comes the reason why I don't do it anymore, and why I don't see the cost benefit ratio as a positive one. So first, there is a body of research around that, especially around widening your horizon. And unfortunately, it is being said that for a person to really adapt to a new culture and really transform his or her personality because of the influence of another culture that person is being part of, takes decades. We're talking 20 to 30 years. We're not talking about a 2 weeks, 2 months, 1 year stay in another country. we're talking about living there. Only then can we kind of prove scientifically that our personality has changed for the better or the worse. So that raises the question, how much influence can a 2 week stay in another country, even if I'm going like super local, can have on me, on my personality, and how I view the world realistically. And that's really like one of the benefits I derive from it, right? Which comes with a huge cost. I mean, traveling is not cheap, traveling is not for everybody. A lot of people cannot afford traveling. But if I can, there's still a question, is it worth it? Because I might have all these impressions, and now that's from a very personal point of view, and that's based on my experiences and what I've seen and heard and experienced with other people. First of all, when traveling, if you even if you are like really individualistic, then yes, you get to know some people, but those conversations are usually really superficial. It's a lot about food, it's a lot about nature, habitation of that country, of that area, which is still nice. I mean, those are nice impressions. But to me, and I realized that it's not really about learning something new, changing into another person, changing my worldview, but really about just another really high sophisticated dopamine hit. So that's one reason. And the other reason is, or the other experience I had is, yes, I totally agree. And I can see that. I can see it for myself, but also at other people, that while we are traveling, we tend to be like show another version of our own. We're different. We might be more open. We might be more curious. We might do different things. And that's perfectly fine. And I get that this is an exciting feeling and this is a strong reason why we should do it again. But on the other hand, usually, like in my experience, that doesn't last. I don't get to take that home with me. It's very much like you're on holiday, you're traveling, and you taste that super delicious wine, and it's also part of that experience, and you take a bottle home, but it doesn't taste the same once you're back home. Back home, you still have that memory, and maybe it creates those pictures, but it tastes differently. It tastes like every other wine you really have at home. And that was my experience with myself, with like how I act, how I interact, is that it might be different while abroad. And I like that, people like that, but I don't get to take that home with me. It doesn't last. Which only leaves one other reason to me. Because if it doesn't like change me in a substantial way and sustainable way, then there's one other big reason why traveling is so exciting. It's, I mean, it's the moment, yes. We have those experiences in the moment and we have fun, we enjoy it. We had that at the very beginning. It's, yeah, it's fun. But also, I get to tell other people about it. So I have that experience on my own. And then I really get to, I know it's a hard word, but I get to show off. I get to tell other people the places I've visited, the things I've done. The farther away, the better. I get to show all these beautiful big pictures, beautiful beaches, beautiful nature. my, I don't know. And the dolphins I've been swimming with, whatever it might be, to me by now, it's really a lot about showing off. And that's a good reason. I mean, that shapes our perception at home and how people perceive us and how we want to see ourselves. And also, it's exciting and it gives us a good feeling. It gives me a good feeling. And people like it. So, no issue with that. But important is that we are really conscious about why we are doing it. Like, what are the reasons? And do we have a positive and above one cost benefit ratio? And that was the point where I decided for myself, I don't need that. I don't I don't do it. I don't want to spend the money, the time, the effort, the energy on showing off, like showing other people how exciting, how exotic, how, I don't know, educated I am, because especially because it doesn't really educate me. And then I came to realize that it doesn't really give me a long-term benefit in terms of my personality and how I view the world. And then there's still pleasure, but there are so many other things that probably, or at least to me, are equally pleasurable as this long distance traveling. That after all, if I do the calculation, it's not worth the investment. And there are other ways where I can invest the same amount but get so much more back from it. And then there's one last thing for, like, as a result of realizing this, for me, I came to discover, experience, and value a brand new way of traveling. But I'm not going to talk about that this time. We'll surely talk about it in the future. For now, I want you to reflect on traveling, reflect on your idea, understanding of traveling, how that idea comes together, which are the influences that brought you to that visualization of why traveling is important for you. And think about it. If you still come out of it the with clarity that traveling is for you and it's worth the effort, perfect. If you don't, and or if traveling is not for you because it's just out of like not within your budget, then stay with me and discover new ways of traveling, shaping personality, and expanding your worldview. That's it. I liked it very much. Looking forward to your feedback and see you next time. Bye bye.